time now for Coming In Hot with Brent Wallace and former Ottawa Senators Bobby Ryan and Jason York.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. We have our new opening. Finally.
Oh, good job, Wally. Did you put that together?
No, but I did have to use the money we were going to pay you this month.
Okay, there's a lot of people that the younger generation of fan that's not familiar with me. They're like, was York like a goon or something? Like this guy funny. Was a good uppercut though. Hey, I like that.
All the other videos black and white, so that was
all black.
Yeah, I love that I'm scoring on an empty net.
Yeah, like Bob's getting empty netter, and I'm throwing bombs.
Nothing to do with it.
Anyway, more like I'm throwing pillows, eh, Bob? Kind of like how you described the potential of tonight's game.
It's just a back and forth pillow fight tonight. No, you take the 2 points. No, you take the 2 points.
Hello,
whoever comes out of this game on the bright side gets one step closer to Macklin Celebrini.
Oh boy!
Start the show.
Brent Wallace alongside Jason York and Bobby Ryan, who apparently everybody's fired up today. So let's get right to it. Even Jacques is fired up. He is seeing a lack of commitment and determination from this hockey team, and he wants to put an end to it. Gentlemen,
do we dare call it a lack of respect? I love that.
That's Michel Therrien.
I know Michel Therrien, but I love saying it. Hey, did you guys see this? I'm going off track. That Colby Armstrong, I think he tweeted something the other day. It was about Therrien. And no, it was Whitney. Whit tweeted something about Therrien. It was just, oh my God. We need Michel Therrien back in the game. He's just a classic.
So Michel, that night was I think the first game he took over at Pittsburgh, and that was his post-game comments on the first night he coached the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Just dropped the bomb first night.
Could you imagine your coach going, I think we're trying to be the worst defensive team in hockey. Like he just lit his team up. It was fantastic. Oh, so
hey, Jacques almost there.
He is. I really like Michel Therrien. I forget which year it is, but he's coaching Pittsburgh, and they're about to face the Flyers. And I'm covering this series, and John Stevens is the coach of the Flyers. To be off topic, like Yorkie says, and I did a story. My stand-up was something about John Stevens is 2-1 against Michel Therrien lifetime in the playoffs or whatever. So the next day I'm sitting in the stands. It's a morning skate, and Michel Therrien skates off right past me, and he goes, I'm sorry. I said John Stevens, the Flyers were 2-0 against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And he skates off and goes, I'm 2-1. And I'm like, what? Like Michel Therrien and I haven't talked a lot over the years. He's like, I'm 2-1. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. He said, you said I lost to John Stevens. I'm like, you did. He goes, I beat him one time in the AHL. I'm like, okay.
Nice.
So fast forward, end of the series. Pittsburgh wins the series. And I happen to be at, we're in Philadelphia at McCormick and Schmick's, I think is the restaurant. Mm-hmm. And he comes in with the coaching staff. And I was going to send a drink over, but I found out he doesn't drink alcohol. So we just, we talked at the end. And as he's leaving, I went, hey, you're 2-2 now. So that was the last chance that I had to chat with Michel Therrien. But I really like him. He's fun. He's a lot of fun.
I've heard that. He just doesn't seem it when you see him. I'm like,
no.
What a very vague face. When I look at you, I don't have fun.
More fun, very fiery. More fun than that story, maybe?
Oh,
just wow. I haven't been gone for a while. Come on.
Just another vacation.
Yeah. Yorkie's he's all relaxed now. He was on the beach for a couple of days.
Just getting warmed up. Come on, bring it. Let's go. Let's
all
get
right.
some heat. We gotta do something. Mix it up here. People are getting pissed off. Bring some friction here.
Well, they have reason to be pissed off. And I've got a couple of notes to explain why they should be pissed off. Also, though, we'll get to tonight's lineup and we'll see Travis Hamonic out for the first time this season. Let's take care of some business, shall we? This show brought to you by Charm Diamond Centers, the chosen forever Charm Diamond Centers. They have 85 locations across the country through Charm and their sister brand. Super knowledgeable. Not sure what to get? Go see the staff at Charm Diamond Centers. They will help you find the perfect gift. Get custom ring building delivered in less than 4 weeks with the Charm Masterpiece program and an unbeatable pricing policy. Listen, Valentine's Day is quickly approaching. It's less than a month now. Or for really any special occasion, Charm Diamond Centers is the crown jewel of beautiful pieces of jewelry, including a large selection of Canadian lab-grown diamonds, mined diamonds, and don't pay until 2025 with their instant in-store financing. For more information, go to charmdiamondcenters.com.
And as always, our show is brought to you by our friends at BEI, Bisher Excavating, heavy civil general contractor in both the public and the private sectors. They are helping to shape it in Ottawa Valley. When planning your next project, consider them for all of your aggregate supply needs, including equipment rentals, custom crushing and screening, hot mix pavements. They move stuff. You can find them at BisherExcavating.com or give them a shout at 613-432-1120. Join the team. You get part of the free Hockey Friday. And as always, slow down at construction zones.
Oh, and here we go. Battlegrounds Ax Throwing. Looking for a fun night out? Then check out Battlegrounds Ax Throwing. Great for the family, great for couples and corporate groups. Kids 12 and up can throw accompanied by a guardian. Looking for the ultimate birthday party, team building event, or just having a fantastic date night with your significant other? Then it's time to visit Battle Ax Throwing, located at 2615 Lancaster Road. It's safe, it's fun, it requires no practice. Just come to a Battleground Ax Throwing facility, and the coaches will show you the ropes and show you how to hit the target safely. Book now at battlegrounds.com.
All right, good job, Yorkie. You nailed it.
Thank you.
So after the 7-4 dismantling by the Colorado Avalanche, Jacques, not very happy, obviously, says his group needs more commitment and determination from the players. Can this group figure it out as they near the midway point of the season? I'm a little concerned, gentlemen. I was shocked that they put Sogard in. I get it now that Colorado is playing backup goaltender and all that stuff. I get it, but I don't know. I think I would have put Korpisalo in goal. Bob, were you surprised at the decision to play Sogard?
Once he came out with the statistics that really backed him up, I had a little more understanding of it. Korpisalo's numbers have just been terrible, but guess what? They've been terrible against everybody. So
that's just it.
That my concern is you brought a kid up that's been on a heater and been playing very, very well, obviously, in the minors, and threw him right to the Wolves, to arguably the best offensive team in the league. I don't know if they're statistically number one, but they're up there.
Vancouver just is number one, at least in the high scoring team.
Right. Okay. So you're throwing this kid to the Wolves and he gets potted for 7. Like, that's not fair. It's not fair. And watching the goal, I mean, he gets backdoored. Like, Cale Makar walks down and just backdoors somebody. Like, help your guy out. You have a rookie goaltender in the net. I don't know if he's technically a rookie. Sorry.
No, he's played 30 games. Remember last year he had to have a long stretch, but he's played 30 games or whatever it is.
You're putting still a young, inexperienced goalie against them. Yep. Help him out. Defend from the middle of the ice. The guys are all over the place. And I know we're going to talk about Ridley. That was his guy, Makar, walking down on that exchange at the top. Mm-hmm. But just, I always remember when we had a backup goalie in net, or especially with the litany of goalies that we had through my last couple of years there, we were like, this guy's got no experience. Let's tighten things up. And you just get to the front of the net quicker. They did none of that to support the poor kid. So I'm not surprised given the numbers, but I was surprised given the opponent. So a little bit of yes and a no. I kind of a torn answer, but I wouldn't have played him. I wouldn't have done it to the poor kid. I'd give him tonight, or I would give him, the back-to-back on the weekend. Just doesn't make sense to me. That's like saying, hey, we're not going to win, so does it really matter who we throw in the net? We kind of
good luck, kid.
you know what? It's basically saying that how Jacques feels about Korpisalo. We think this little of you. We can't even trust you that we're going to play this kid against Colorado because this is how bad we think you've been. And it is easier to do because the current regime didn't sign Korpisalo.
Yeah.
So you can make that move, and everybody after the game, people would be surprised what goes on in a coach's room after a game. The bombs that are being thrown at guys, like it is, it's nasty. And I'll tell you, it's Korpisalo. You can't paint it any other. You look at the analytics, you look at the eye test. Every single stat say he's been one of the worst goalies in the league. It is what it is, and he's on a 5-year deal. Like,
Hold on a sec. Cam Talbot is in a Vezina Trophy consideration mode right now.
Yeah, but
did he just suddenly become a Vezina Trophy candidate over a season? Like, at some point, we have to look perhaps outside the crease.
I agree.
Man, LA is stingy with the way they play. They're stingy. They don't.
I agree. Like, I think it's in front of you. So, like, I don't know what Korpisalo is because we don't know how he can play in front of a team that can play defense.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Yep. When everybody knew Talbot wasn't going to be here long term, Korpisalo signed to a 5-year deal. Like, so it's not
okay. But anybody can be traded.
That contract's almost untradeable. And listen, I'm not like at the time I didn't mind the move, but it's the 5-year term. Like it's so tough to deal a goaltender with that thing. And I do agree. This team, when they give up chances, they are doozies. Like it's not a shot from the outside, or they're grade A's. So it's but again,
question for you, Yorkie.
What's that
question? If you're Korpisalo, coach comes in and goes, "Hey, we're gonna play the rookie against the Colorado Avalanche," it's part of him going, "Thank fuck," like thank God I'm not gonna get backdoored 7 times. Like his stats went up by sitting on the bench.
And you know what? Remember last year when Ottawa had all those goaltenders, a revolving door of goaltenders, and sometimes a young guy comes into a situation like that and strikes lightning in a bottle. So you kind of got that. Maybe we'll bring the kid in. Maybe he'll stand on his head because we know Korpisalo is not going to do it. So let's. So I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised one bit. I was actually 100%, 99% sure they're going to go with Sogaard.
Well, you didn't say anything to us about it. So I'm going to go back to, if you remember the 4th goal that Colorado scored, which I think is Miles Wood, and he walks around Tarasenko. Jacques. So, Bobby, I'm going to center this at you, just being the forward at the moment. I think we've just got to need a better effort from some people, said Jacques Martin. We've got to need more determination. Like, look at the 4th goal. I mean, it's a lack of determination and a lack of commitment. Does that sit well in the room?
Yes and no. More no, because these guys know where they're at. And I know they think they're trying hard, but the proof is in the video, and you're not. I mean, Tarasenko was flat-footed on the play, wasn't he? So it's kind of one of those ones where you're like, you're just trying to deflect to the outside to buy time there. And he's ultimately not going to catch Woods there. But I understand the thought process. There is a lack of attention to detail, and that was what we all thought. We said it ourselves. We thought the attention to detail defensively was going to get better, and I think it's actually gone the other way. I think these guys are so defeated that they're like, somebody else is going to do their job and hope the next guy in line steps up, and that's just not the case right now for anybody. I saw he moved Tarasenko, and that might be the message because of that goal. He called that goal out in particular, so he moves Tarasenko down, and it's like, what are you doing? That's your only trade piece, and if he wants to leave, like, you're going to put him with Chartier and Kelly? What are you doing?
But hold on a second. Vladimir Tarasenko has played in that 3rd line a lot of the season, and the only difference
I know,
is
but now you're getting
Kubalik.
a month out from. Yeah, but now you're a month out from trade. And like, what if somebody comes to them and says, like, Tarasenko hasn't been bad. He was our hot performer last week or the other day. Like, he's putting up numbers.
He can't wait to get out of here. Like, anybody, people are saying, "Oh, we got to trade him. We need the veteran." Do you know, like, anybody that follows the stock market, his stock is like one of the worst perform. Like, he's not even going to make close to $5 million next year, the way the stats are right now. And I'm not saying that it's because of that he's played bad or anything. It's just because last year he scored 18. This year he's trending to probably score around the same. And guys that score under 20 goals don't make $5 million. And the only way he's going to get paid is if he gets traded and goes to a playoff team. So anybody that thinks that he wouldn't waive his no trade clause and he's happy here, of course he's going to say all the right things in the media and be a good, because that's what you do. He's been in the league long enough. He understands it. He gets it, but that he'll be traded. I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if he stays.
I tend to agree with you. The only thing is when we had Frank Cervelli on Thursday, when you missed the show, or no, I guess Tuesday.
Yeah, I heard
when you
I
missed
said
the
he's
show.
on. I heard what he said.
Yeah, right. Like, there is, though, the understanding around that organization that he's been very good for this team and is very well liked. Does that mean he's not going somewhere? No, I don't know if that's going to happen based on the rumors that are coming around through the organization.
I'll tell you one thing: the Senators, you know this, Wally, and they do business now way differently when they used to be. Like before, you knew when something was going to happen. Pierre would tell somebody, and it would get out and get leaked. These guys are airtight now. They're airtight. And why would you tell somebody that we want to trade, like right now? Yeah, we want Tarasenko's available. Tarasenko's available. No, you want to perceive a position of strength that you're really happy with this player. You don't really want to trade this player. It's smart. It's smart business. And then as you get closer to the deadline, you make teams come with a better offer. To me, that's just being smart. But I just see, if you look at this team, how they're built, they are so easy to play against. I can't find more than 3 guys that are tough to play against consistently on a night in and night out basis. I'm a firm believer in this. The harder your forwards work and back pressure and play the right way, it makes it so much easier for your D. You look at teams that generally have good defensemen, it's almost 99% of the time their forwards work their ass off and they back pressure and they finish hits and they're smart defensively. What part of the reason the Sens D looks so bad is because that first level that the other team has to get through all the time is not very hard. so that's why the D look even worse, because you have a group of forwards that just don't play hard. And I shouldn't say they don't play hard. They don't play, because I never think guys purposely don't play hard. It's just the way this team is built. You've got like a Kubalik, you've got a Tarasenko, you've got all kinds of guys that are point guys. And we said, how many guys on this team play like a Miles Wood? Like just hard as nail. Like those types of guys,
3,
those types of guys and older, like look on the Sens roster right now. Name me an older player that plays hard and is hard to play against.
What's old mean?
Just like a guy that's kind of in his prime, maybe like around like late 20s.
But they don't have many. So Jacob Chikrin, but
I'm talking forwards. I'm talking forwards.
You don't have one.
Exactly.
Not at that age.
And you look at the good teams.
Oh, sorry, Claude Giroux.
Well, yeah, I was going to say G, but he's even older than Prime. So, but he's still damn good.
He's the best player on the team.
But Claude beats you with his brains. He beats you with his smarts. Like when Claude's on the ice, I love how Claude Giroux plays. He's been their best player. If I'm a defenseman on the ice, I'm not worried about Claude punishing me, hurting me, doing things like that. Not that I know the game's changed, but look at Vegas, for example. You got a Carrier, you got a William Karlsson, you got all these guys that just play the right way. So why would you, in a roundabout way, why would you be wanting to bring back Tarasenko, who does none of those things? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And it's not that he's a bad player. He just, anyways, that's my 2 cents in a long version.
I get it. No, I get it. That leads us to playing, I guess, guys who are hard to play against. Ridley Greg, who's garnered plenty of attention. So we're going to kick this off with our DoorDash hot performer. I'm going to give it away because we're going to talk about Ridley Greg. This show always proudly delivered by DoorDash. Get everything you need. Yes, even at the last minute. Movie theater popcorn even. Just open the DoorDash app and enjoy the perfect movie night on your couch. Choose what you want from where you want. With Double Dash on DoorDash, you can order from multiple restaurants or stores in the same delivery without additional delivery fees, so everyone can get what they want and need. For a limited time, our listeners get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter code NATION25. That's 25% off, $10 value, 0 delivery fees in your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code NATION25. All uppercase letters, offered valid in Canada, subject to change, terms apply. All right, so Ridley Greg, as we completely told you, just in his last 3 games, right? 3 points. He had the 2-goal night. I thought he looked very good against Colorado. He's +4 in the 3 games. He now leads the team +14. We've seen obviously his ice time increase because of him playing in that number 1 spot. And they've given up 16 goals in the last 3 games, and he's been on the ice for 2 of them. Which I find is, I don't know, maybe he's playing the Bobby Ryan game where he gets off really quick on the line change. And therefore you don't get the dash.
You got to do it. You got to protect.
But he looks really good. Like, he looks really good. So I guess the question is, gentlemen, where is he going to fit? Like Jacques said, he thinks Josh Norris could be back sometime this weekend. He didn't skate, I don't think, today or yesterday. So I wouldn't think Saturday, maybe Sunday. If he comes back and Shane Pinto comes back, where's Ridley Greg going to fit in?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. If you're going to roll Stützle, Norris, Greg, and then Pinto comes into the fold, I really don't think you want your 4th line center to be a Ridley Greg.
I know.
He's earned the ice time here. So I wouldn't mess with anything right now. I like the way he plays. I know that Jacques had mentioned in his had mentioned in his interview that it's a hard league to play in, and there's some mistakes being made, but those are the mistakes you live with, because it's not a lack of effort from Ridley Greg. It's a lack of understanding at times, like the Makar, walks down uninterrupted on a simple exchange. Those you live with. Those are teaching moments. They're not lack of focus. They're not lack of discipline. They're just teaching moments. And he's giving you offense right now at a better clip than Norris might be. And without power play time, like, to me, he's sitting in the 2 spot, getting his top 6 minutes and not moving until something drastic happens. He's got to get outplayed to lose that. I know they always say you're not going to lose your spot to injury, but that's not the case right now. And this team doesn't have the luxury of just slotting somebody back in because they deserve to be, or they were drafted, or they're paid $8 million. Ridley Gregg's earning that moment, and he's earning the ice time. I'm not taking it away from him because of mistakes that are learning mistakes from a kid that's 21 years old, right? There's a difference between that and multiple turnovers at the blue line or things like that. He's committing none of those. He's just playing hard and making simple mistakes that can be cleaned up. I'm not moving him. He's my 2nd line center.
Yeah, no, and he punishes other team's defensemen from time to time. Like,
right. He's hard on guys. He gets in. Yeah, he does a lot of good things.
Look at where Ottawa is right now. Like, it's a great time to learn to keep learning on the job, to keep putting him in situations. Let's see how much more we can do with him. Like, test him, push him, put him in those situations. I still maintain that Josh Norris is going to end up on the wing if he stays and if they keep him. There's some kind of I just don't know what else they do, because I think Pinto is going to be so valuable once he gets going as being a really smart 2-way centerman, and he's a right shot. So you have to have Pinto. Pinto's not moving off the center. I don't think Stützle is moving off center as well. And why would you move Ridley Greg off this? Because he gives you a little bit of both. Like you said, he gives you offense, he gives you defense, and he's got some nasty. So I just keep looking back to Josh Norris. I'm like, where does he fit down the middle in this pitcher? And I'm like, probably better on the wing. Like, that's why I keep coming back to that. I just don't, unless Pinto comes back and doesn't play well, but I don't see that happening. I just think I think Pinto's the real deal. I think Greg's going to continue to get better, and Timmy's your franchise player. So, like, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. I think he finds his way over there. I think he finds his way over to the wing too. He's got a really good knack for getting lost in the offensive zone,
right?
And that's what you're paying him for. Let's not make him be the guy that's navigating entries and things like that. Put him on the wing, get him into the 1-timer spot, let him work that flank 5-on-5, pop into the slot. Like, he's a puck possession guy, but he's not the guy that drives puck possession. And I think he can be very, very valuable if you put him in a spot to have 1-timers with a Tim feeding him.
How difficult is it to move off center and go to the wing?
I think the adjustment is in the defensive zone, right? But when you're north of the red line, nothing changes. You're playing the way it's supposed to be, and you're still going to be F1 at times, right? You're still going to be F3 at times, and it's about reading situations. Where I've always seen like Ryan Getzlaff's the best example. Arguably saw the ice better than anybody I've ever played with. Maybe Carl Spez up there to a degree. Getzy was probably better than both of them at seeing the ice. he could not play wing to save his life because the puck would come around the wall and he would just get it and throw it and have no clue where the puck was going. He was so honest about it that the rest of the game is easy. The only real transition, and it's a lot easier defensively to just stay in the top quadrant and let somebody come into your spot. The reads are easier. Getting the puck along the wall and getting north is hard. It's you got to take 10,000 reps, right? Like you don't take those reps. You take low and slow, get the puck bump back to you or chip into space to you. So when you're getting the puck around the wall and there's a guy coming down on you, you're like, this isn't something I've seen before. And it feels a lot different, but he could absolutely handle it. He's a big enough body. He's got enough skill to be able to do it. It's just going to take time. But you can live with that. You can live with, right? You just bring numbers into the area.
Well, just look at people say, well, you need guys that can score on the wing. How do you replace goals if you're not going to? Kubalik was brought here to score. Tarasenko was brought here to score. Who's a better goal scorer? As Norris. Right. It's not even close between those two guys. It's not even close.
Yep, absolutely.
So the one thing I've always been told, it's easier to go from center to the wing than it is to go from wing to the center. Obviously, I think it's mostly due to hockey IQ, as I've always been told. There was a time, Yorkie, I can't remember if it was around I think you were probably gone, but they had, I think Ottawa at one point dressed like 7 centers, at least 6 centers, and they were just being moved to the wing, like Chris Kelly and Zach Smith, and there was just a bunch of guys, and they were just moving them around because of injury or whatever. So I don't think it's that big a deal for Josh Norris to play the wing based on
no. He could figure it out quickly. Yeah, he'd be fine.
So here's, I'm not going to this. I probably shouldn't even ask this question. Is Josh Norris playing himself out of this lineup when you have Ridley Greg playing the way he is?
Yes. Yeah, he is. And I know he's hurt right now. And I don't want to pile on a guy that's injured, but yeah, he's the most expendable forward to me.
Wow. Just think where we've come to say that. A 35 goal scorer.
Yeah. Yep. I think you trade Tarasenko, you try and trade Kubalik, then you look at your group of forwards, and I think there's room for them. And I love the chemistry. When I think back to when Josh Norris plays his best hockey, he's got great chemistry. We used to have it with Tkachuk, but he's been in and out of the lineup. But him and Batherson play extremely well together.
Yeah,
especially around the net. Go back to some of those goals. I know a lot of them are on the power play, those no-look crease passes. They just seem to know where each other are on the ice. The problem with this team right now, guys, is we're evaluating a team that has completely lost its mojo. They got no confidence. They got no belief in themselves. They're like a kid that lost their dog, and to me, it's like they're waiting now for something to happen. Who's going to get moved? Who's going? Yes. And it's like you're not doing it on purpose, but subconsciously they're waiting for a big shoe to drop. And
it's very hard to analyze a defeated team with no right. It's so defeated, and they almost look lethargic at times out there. And they're waiting every game, and they're waiting to react as opposed to putting the other team on their heels every single game. And I've been part of that in Ottawa. It's tough. It's so tough. So it's you know what it is? It's easy to pile on if you're somebody on Twitter saying this and that about a player. But if you're looking at it through a lens of we're trying to analyze a team that is broken, it's so easy to pick on guys. Like you could go through the lineup and say something about everybody right now. The project that the staff has to do is not fall trap to that. Understand that when all of these players are at their best, what are we looking at? And how do we get them there? And that's the problem.
It's well said. Well, that's the thing. The worst thing you could do right now is have an overreaction and trade a guy like a Stützle or be down on a guy because he's having a bad half of a year. Like
no. But Yorkie, there's something fundamentally wrong with the way this team plays, regardless of whether or not they play defense or not. It just seems, and we've said this in the past. This is a soft group to play against.
Yes. Soft,
so that's why I really like Ridley Greg, completely different player than Josh Norris, to be perhaps the 200-foot second line center, and Shane Pinto as that third line guy. But we can't. I just have how do we judge moving on from like a Josh Norris who's a 35 goal scorer? Like at the beginning of the year, we're talking about him being the number 1 center possibly, and how he's going to lead this team in a way. Like,
so look, well,
there's an interesting. I think there's there's got to be something happen other than them just sending. So if Pinto and Norris return, Gavin, can you just put the lines back up for a sec, please? You'll see Chartier and McEwen be sent down, is my guess. It would make the most sense. Easiest ways to move around. But you've got to figure out how to juggle those guys. Like, does Kastlik just move to the wing? How do they find more grit in this lineup? And that's the issue of, like, is Ridley Greg really going to play now 14 minutes or 13 minutes a night or less? I hope not.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
You find more grit. Unfortunately, it's probably going to be at the draft of trading for. You're going to have to. And Ryan Bonus is on the road right now, and he's pro scouting. So right now, I'll give you a great example. Look what Winnipeg did in the offseason. They brought in some young, hungry guys with tremendous upside. And look at the piece they gave up. They gave away Dubois, who's now gone to LA. But look what came over to Winnipeg's way. You got young players that play hard, play with pace. I just think it has to be through really good pro scouting. You need to look at teams and put the lineup up there for one more sec, Gavin. Throw that lineup up again. If you look at Ottawa's lineup, and I'm pro scouting right now, you have to bring in some guys with some speed, because if you watch them play right now, they're a slow hockey team. They play slow and they're soft. So that's not a good that's not a good combo to have. So if I'm pro scouting right now, I am trying to identify young guys that can come in, be part of this group, and for some reason maybe it's not working out, and they're going to come here and provide a spark, because Tarasenko's not quick. Really, the only guy with a ton of speed out there is Joseph. Like, he's your guy, and he's not overly physical. I know Greg's quick and Stutzel, but they're quick in different ways. So for me, that's what I would be doing: speed and guys that play hard. And I'm not worrying about bringing back a 32-year-old Tarasenko that's not fast and doesn't provide those other things.
Yeah, I agree. Completely agree.
So I'm interested to see how this plays out with Pinto returning, because that'll be Sunday's game against Philadelphia. So there's going to have to be some moves made. I just think there's going to have to be a trade done here soon to move around some bodies to get people in their positions, I guess. Yeah.
Something's coming.
He just did it.
Oh, by the way, my family now does whenever I start to possibly say something, they're like, shh, Wally. Because you did that to me like 3 weeks ago or whatever, and now I get it all the time.
Who? Lisa? Lisa gives you the shush?
Oh, my daughter. Yeah.
It's running through the household?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I get shushed.
That's amazing.
You're getting shushed. It's your home, for God's sake. You can't get shushed.
Not anymore. I'm just occupying space. So something else I'd like to bring up to you that is all part of all this stuff, and that's they keep blowing leads, and I don't understand. I do get it, because they're facing Stanley Cup champion, they're perennial Stanley Cup contender, but they've had leads, it feels like, in the last 5-6 games, and they just watch them go away. They led 4-2 against Colorado, and then they just, I don't know, I guess Colorado just decided to say, we're not going to lose this game. I don't know, but they couldn't stop the charge, the onslaught by Colorado. I thought that Colorado took it to a level. All of a sudden, they're like, "Hey, we're in jeopardy of losing to Montreal and Ottawa back to back. Let's just turn it up to the level that we're able to match, or that Ottawa's not able to match." Like, a couple players decided to make some plays and turn the level up, and Ottawa had nothing for it. They just completely tilted the ice, didn't they, Yorkie? Did you watch that?
I did. It marvels me how McKinnon doesn't get more people talking about him for the Hart.
He falls right under the radar. Flies right under the radar, right?
Like you watch this guy play, and he's on a different level. I'm sorry, and he plays hard too. Like, he's like, you look at a guy like a Hughes, for example, tremendously skilled, all kinds of talent, but McKinnon can blow you up too. Like, he can run you over. Like, the way he skates,
he is so powerful in those 3 strides that it's watching him. Could you imagine Yorkie standing there on the PK in your 4-man box. McCarr just kind of brings it up, makes you all back up, and then drops it 60 feet to McKinnon, taking 3 strides full of speed. You're just going, oh boy. Oh boy. If I'm turning around, skating forwards and going right to the post. I am not getting beat inside.
It's like loading up a cannonball like back in ancient war times, and you just let him go. It's like, bam, he just comes at you a million miles an hour. Like it's he's so impressive.
Yeah. So just marvel. I remember playing against him one time when I watched them drop it back and he got 4 or 5 strides. I was like, I'm so glad I'm on a power play and not a penalty kill. I was like, I would throw a stick at the guy. I don't care. it'd be a 5-on-3 so fast because I'd be protecting my stats.
Oh god.
So those players took it to a level that they couldn't match. Think
about what they have though, Bob. Think about what's on Colorado right now. Arguably the second best player in the NHL, McKinnon. You've got the best defenseman in the game in McCarr, and you have probably the best complementary player in the NHL. You can make an argument for Draisaitl as like Mikko Rantanen. Like people have
underrated.
People have no idea how good this guy is. And then you've got the best complementary number 2 defenseman in the league, and probably Devin Taves. Like that team is stacked. And then you've got all these. Then they're second tier guys like a Miles Wood and players like that. They play hard. Like
you got an $8 million or $6 million Ryan Johansson coming at you after that, right?
Forgot about him.
And then I did too until I watched the game. I was like, I haven't seen that guy since last summer.
Where's he been?
he lives just over there. But honestly, and you look at like how scary they would be if they get Gabe Landeskog and Valerie Nichushkin back for playoffs like this. They go right to the top of the list again, and they're there without him. You hope that Nichushkin kind of finds his way back and gets what he needs, and then Landeskog comes off. I don't know if he'll come off the IR if they're doing the Mark Stone and the Nikita Kucherov thing, but I think it was Meth who commented he had the same surgery and it never felt the same again. So it's a long road, but. Yeah, put Gabriel Landeskog, your captain, back in that lineup, and they are the best team in the league.
Yeah. They're dominant,
100%.
Yeah, unbelievable. So I'm not going to hold it against the boys. They just simply couldn't match the effort.
No,
but you're up 4-2. Like it used to be in the NHL, especially under Jacques, and I know this is a whole different time frame. You would never surrender really a 4-2 lead.
You know why though? Because I'll tell you the biggest reason why. D did not join the rush like they do now, and D do not activate in the offensive zone like they do now. It's McCarr's below the goal line sometimes, just directing traffic. So when you get into the zone and set up, especially against that line, like Sheldon Keefe said, that's not natural. The way that they play just has you on your heels all the time. And they finally said, we should probably win one of these 2 so we can have a good rest of the road trip. And took it to a level. I don't know if they were going to Toronto next, but they were like, let's go.
I'll tell you the third reason why, to Bob's points, you can't hook or hold in the modern NHL. I got a picture in my office. It's awesome. It's where is it? It's in the basement right now. It's a picture of me, and I'm basically water skiing on Mario Lemieux. I'm going for a ride. Wee! Got my stick right in his chest, and because late in the game, you could, as a D, you could put your stick between a guy's legs. You could grab him. Like now, you can't do that stuff anymore. Like that's why you're seeing all these games.
No, it doesn't make no Yorkie. Like you can still learn to play D with water skiing with guys and cross-checking them. They just, for whatever reason, are not getting it done defensively. And I'll explain it to you in my. Yeah, go ahead.
You got to have the boots to be able to play with those guys. And there's a couple guys on the Senators back end. It's asking a lot. It's asking a lot. Like the way the boots are.
Today's Wendy's Did You Know will help try and explain some of this. It's time now for the Wendy's Daily Faceoff Survivor Pool. Shots on goal, goals against average, and points per game can make or break your week, but don't overlook the BPMM, the Wendy's Bacon Portobello Mushroom Melt. Sure, it may not help you win weekly prizes with Wendy's and the Daily Faceoff Fantasy, but unlike your prediction, it never disappoints. So try your luck, but don't push it because the Bacon Portobello Mushroom Melt is only back for a limited time, and if you miss it, you won't get a second chance. Sign up for the Daily Faceoff Daily Faceoff Survivor Pool today, sponsored by Wendy's and the Wendy's app. Don't forget to download the Wendy's app. Wendy's, we keep it fresh. All right, so the Ottawa Senators have lost a league-high 5 games in regulation with leading after 2 periods this season. They're 12-5. The 5 losses ties already the franchise record, and they've only played 39 games. The NHL record for most regulation losses when leading after 2 periods is 8 games, which has been done 8 times, most recently by the 2016-17 Avalanche. It's mind-boggling of where they're at. Plus, by the way, scoring 4 goals, they've lost the second most games in the NHL when scoring 4 goals this season. Only the Islanders are worse.
That's because the goalies have a 98.5%, whatever it is. Like that's. I can give you 4 reasons, but you can keep putting it on the goalies to a degree. But they're just. Again, I had them in the playoffs. I over-expected out of them. They're just not a good hockey team. It's not fun to say. I don't want to keep talking about what needs to be changed and what needs to be fixed because we've identified those things. It's just going to take time. There's going to be a shakeup. Yeah. I understand that they're giving up 7 because they're giving up 12 to 15 $10.
Yes.
Right.
You know what they need?
Talk about.
This is what they need. They need a time machine to fast forward to when Ridley Greg has played 3 years in the league and Pinto's played 3 years in the league. Colorado was a really shitty team for a long time when McKinnon was young, and it took a while. Unfortunately, I don't really count Ottawa's rebuild as 7 years because some of those years don't count because the team wasn't being run properly. And it wasn't being run with a vision and a plan. And you don't have a plan, it's pretty tough to get better. And now people are just going to have to be patient because there's a plan that's being built. And if you look again, and I'll go again, down the middle of the Ottawa Senators right now, that center ice position is extremely young. And they're going to get eaten up defensively on most nights. Prime example, Ridley Greg playing great hockey, mismatch, defensive zone, Cale Makar. Shit, I've never seen that move before. And damn, that Makar is fast. Put it in the memory bank. Noted. But then you get experience from that. That's how you get better. Ridley Greg has never seen a player like that, played against a player like that. That's how you get better. Unfortunately, the centers just need time, and they're going to need time to get better. And then you become a better team. And it's unfortunately that's where Ottawa is right now. And the biggest thing, now they need to make the right moves to insulate what you have, and that's what will make the team better.
And I'll just touch on that play. So people will look at that, and for those that don't know, the switch occurred when Makar activated wide, right? Ridley is following his guy up the ice. The winger folds underneath, and that's where the switch can look different ways. And people that will watch that be like, why is that hard to figure out? Well, it's hard because the winger is the one that has to call it. That's not on Ridley Greg, right? So he might not have had any communication. The winger has to call that switch. I got the guy with the puck coming over the top. You have to fold underneath. Where Ridley Greg got stuck was that the winger is flat-footed. He can't help you in any situation. All he can do is try to cut the top off. So Ridley elected to stay with the puck carrier. The puck gets dropped. If the puck doesn't get dropped, it's a moot point. Ridley pushes him out of the zone, or he dumps it back down and they start over. What happened was Ridley had a chance to make a decision, opted not to get beat to the middle of the ice. He left the outside of the ice. If that's not Cale Makar, it might be a different situation on top of it. But he probably got no communication. And the danger of that is if I stop there and I accept the rush from Makar and the puck carrier keeps the puck, he's walking right down Broadway. So it's a very, you have to go through that switch thousands of times before you get it right every single time. It's a young error, but whoever the winger was did not help him, because you can actually see there's no communication. The winger was just standing there. And that's learning to work together as well as pointing out a young player's mistake. I just want to give him a little slack on that because it's a teachable thing. But if I'm Ridley Greg, I'm talking to my winger saying, you got to be in my ear. Like you are my eyes and ears. I'm committed to a puck carrier. If you see that defenseman activate, tell me to hit the brakes and I'll readjust. So,
and it is Makar. was pretty good.
Yeah, and good luck. Good luck.
Like tonight
hit
playing
the brakes
against,
and be flat-footed.
yeah, like tonight playing against Montreal, there's no Cale Makar's back there, so that's why Ottawa's going to win tonight.
They're playing, yeah, but Montreal's playing pretty well of late.
They have been.
We might as well go right. You know what? We'll go right into the lock of the day.
Let's do it.
So Montreal of late, 4-2-2 in their last 8 games. They've won 2 in a row. However, Ottawa's won the last 6 meetings with Montreal. And I don't know what that means or matters. I'm just hanging on to it as the secret to success.
Brady loves these games too, eh?
Yes. And the crowd's always good, right, Bob and Yorkie, when you guys play? Like, they do enjoy this Montreal rivalry. Montreal's played some pretty good hockey of late.
Well, Yorkie called his already, right? Is that what? Are you stuck with on your guys?
This is the what do they call it? The elixir, the remedy that Ottawa needs to try to start feeling good about themselves again. Because right now, they're not feeling very good about themselves. I think this is perfect timing. Montreal trots into town. They've had great success. I think this, if I was going to throw down a lot of cash, this would be the game I'd throw it on the Ottawa Senators to win this one. I just think they're going to be ready. Hopefully they get some saves. And I think they will beat the Montreal Canadiens handily.
Whoa. Now, Montreal, by the way, for people who don't know, they did play last night in New Jersey. Excuse me.
How did they play?
They played all right.
I saw the goal, the one goal. Did they win?
Yeah, they was it Caulfield scored with 3.5 to go, I think, for the winner.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
They gave up 2 power play goals, a 3-2 victory.
All right. I'm gonna take the boys. I'm gonna take the Sens. That's a tough travel. You get out of Newark, you got to drive all the way to that airport. You got to get in late. You won a game that you probably shouldn't win, right? Against a team that's better than you. It's got all the makings of a late start for them tonight. So I think the boys get up and find a way.
Well, this doesn't work. We can't keep picking the same team, but
He doesn't want to take the just take Montreal. Come on.
I don't know. Look at my
you're spiraling here too.
I
right?
know that's why I don't. I can't pick a team. I don't believe in Montreal to be able to. But
do you believe in the Sens right now?
Yeah, I know. That's the.
Like, let's be honest here.
Okay, I will take Montreal.
I like.
All right.
I like it.
I was very. It's a pillow flip. It's a coin toss.
Like it's a like Montreal.
Wait, who's playing a net for both teams? Do we know?
Korpisalo's in goal for Ottawa.
And then who is the backup in New Jersey? Who played in New Jersey last night?
Not Montembeau, is it? Hang on. Why can't you do anything?
The boys have been peppering other goalies. So like the guys are getting a lot of shots on goal right now. Would they have 40 against Colorado, right?
Yep.
Primo is confirmed.
Preems.
I don't know. Is he good? I don't know much about their
young guy, lots of potential, big kid. Actually played with both his dad and his uncle. Played with Keith in Detroit and Wayne in Calgary. Man, those are big. That's a big family. They just
4-4-1. All right, I'm sticking with the Sens. They find a way.
Yep, I like it.
Well, I feel like I'm forced to pick.
You're not forced. You can take Ottawa.
No, I need to make a move. Gotta get back on the. However, the chat I'll pick. I think it's 70% in the chat wants to see. Expects to see an Ottawa victory.
Yeah, I agree with them. I think it's.
They're
gonna bust out of it tonight.
They got to win some games sooner or later.
Yeah. I guess.
Should they not have beaten Colorado?
Who are they going to play? Who do they play Saturday?
If you score 4 goals against Colorado, Winnipeg, they play on Saturday. You should if you get a chance to score 4 on Colorado, you should win.
Yeah, but when your goalies are rocking an 8, whatever it is, an 860.
He had an 818. I think Sogard finished with 818 save percentage in that game. 6 goals against on 33 shots.
Poor kid.
You know what's going to happen? The fellas are gonna lose tonight, and then they're just gonna whack the Jets on Saturday. That's how it's gonna go. You just know it. The Jets are gonna come in and they're gonna be like, "Oh, matinee game," like whatever. Buck's gonna have a day off. He's gonna be sitting in the mezzanine just chilling, and the boys are gonna whack the Jet. I just know it. It's exactly what's gonna happen.
They're not losing. They're not losing to Montreal.
No, I'm taking the boys.
4 goals in 6 of the last 7 games.
What's Brady? Ottawa's got to get back to. Ottawa's got to get. What's that stat you just said?
Ottawa has given up 4 goals or more in 6 of the last 7 games.
Wow, that's pretty good. They got to get back to when.
That's pretty good.
Brady, they got to get the like how long ago when Brady was, you want this? Like what happened to that? Where'd that go?
Everybody told him to play to stop taking penalties. So he's just been, he's going to be on it tonight because it's a rivalry game and he hates Montreal, but he's been a little subdued. And I think that's probably because they sat him down and said, we need you on the ice. And they took the edge away a little bit.
I like an angry Brady. I like angry Brady. I like him just over the edge. He's got to just stop. You know what they're doing, Bob? And I've been in these situations where you're just thinking too much. You're thinking too much, and you're playing not to lose instead of playing to win. Get back.
No, I agree.
Get back to just being a bastard out there, like just. Yeah. And I think Montreal will bring it out. That's why I'm taking Ottawa tonight. He's gonna lead and he's gonna drag the boys into the fight.
All right.
So
hope you're right.
Would you bet on Brady being in a fight in the first 15 minutes of this game?
No.
Who's he gonna fight though?
No. Yeah,
well, it's a pillow fight.
Once Brady.
Is Jacques still in the minors? Is he still marinating down there?
Yes.
Jerac or whatever.
Jacques Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And we can't let him fight him. Like you can't let him fight him.
No.
I don't mind seeing Brady have hockey fights at this point, but I'm not wasting my time on that guy. No offense. Like he's in the NHL. He's a capable player and he's big and he's strong, but there's just that trade-off does nothing for the Sens.
Doesn't work.
Yeah. But okay. Before we go, I've got some serious questions about your mental state, Bobby. I know it's snowing in Nashville these days. I know it's a state of emergency, but do you not own a shovel?
I bought one today. So
this is you yesterday, I believe, cleaning the driveway with a weight sled.
Yep. I got bored. I said the driveway's got to get done. Let's go old school. And I went out for 45 minutes for my outdoor workout, and then I did a 45-minute lift after. But I was like, this thing's got. I went and bought a shovel today, and then my workout today is going to be shoveling the sides of it for 45 minutes. A little core work, Yorkie. I told you guys, I'm on the elimination. I gotta get down. I want to lose 15.
How long is that driveway of yours? Like, is that an acre?
Dude, it's long.
Like,
yeah.
Why did you get such a long driveway?
Like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
You got a gate?
I think I got
the gate. You got the gate
no,
at the front with the doors?
No, there's one going in. That's 100% happening. But I got a real big front yard and a real big backyard, and I wish they had put the house at the back because it's kind of an awkward setup. But the driveway is long, and it's great for it's probably 150, 200 yards, give or take.
You pulled how many up and downs did you do with the sled?
I lost. It was over 12.
Wow.
Over 12. I didn't do that many backwards. I did a few backwards because you know the backwards sled walks, the quads get burning pretty quickly. And it's a little uphill on the way back. That was the way I was going, but downhill was a little easier. And I'm gonna go do it again today.
I should send Gavin my workout today. Basically, throwing a stick for my dog to fetch and bring back to me.
I'll get you another video of me out there today grinding, Wally.
So, were the legs burning after this?
After the backwards ones, they were. The front, not too bad. Actually, I got to be honest with you because there's a touch of ice. The sled kept getting heavier because the snow would pile on and get stuck in there. And then I'd have every 4 or 5 have to clean it out, lighten it up again. But it was a hell of a workout. It was 900 calories in an hour and 10 minutes.
900. Wow. Impressive.
Yeah. I was burning, dude. It was a good one.
Oh, boy. Nice.
Just a solid 145 the whole way through.
All right. Well, good luck trying to fight your way through all the major snow you have down there.
This place is, man. They called school for 5 straight days for this Yorkie.
Come on.
I was doing 85 on the freeway. There's nothing on the road.
Oh my God.
Gavin,
I've
can
never
you show
seen
the
anything
video
like it.
again? It's like 4 to 6 inches of snow.
In our area, we got 4.5. So the surface streets are great. They're like the communities and the subdivisions are too icy. You see DeAndre Ayton for the Portland Trailblazers can't get to the game tonight. He's out of an NBA basketball game due to icy roads.
Come on.
What a league.
But
But
that's wild.
yeah, it was 4.5 inches, 5 straight days, no school. But I thought about starting smoking. So now you know why I'm dragging sleds. I'm exhausted.
Fair enough. Well, then we'll let you recuperate for the weekend and see you all back here Monday, 3 p.m.
Have a great weekend, guys.
See you guys. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to Coming In Hot. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to never miss an episode.